Hi Ståle.
Albert.
Nice to meet you here in your new office, 24/7.
Thank you.
Can you tell about yourself?
Yeah, I'm 42 years old. I have 2 kids, 2 sons, a wife, and a sister. And most of my time I spend kind of with family or at work. And sometimes I try to be active as well and get some workouts. But most of the time is here in the office or at home with the family.
Very interesting to have an interview with you because you're already working in one company about 20 years. And right now this we would say #1 company with the ERP system.
Yeah.
With a cloud-based.
Yes.
Can you explain what first? Okay, we'll go a bit back. How you start to work in that company?
Yeah, I started in 24SevenOffice about 20 years ago, and I was studying my Master of E-Business in the United Kingdom, in London, outside London. We had, at that point I was home during Christmas break. I met Stian, the founder of 24SevenOffice.
You met in England?
No, I met him in Norway. So I was home after the first semester in London. We went home for Christmas break. During the Christmas break I met Stian. And immediately kind of 24SevenOffice, that's e-business. It's online, cloud-based ERP, accounting, CRM, project management, basically all you need to run your business online. And that was kind of in the beginning of the internet, and that was kind of the studies I did. So when I met Stian during that Christmas break, we immediately kind of found each other in a way, and the strategy and the concept and the vision. And after the Christmas break, went back to London, and instead of finishing the master in 12 months, as I should have done, I think I spent kind of 2 years or something. But I started working with 24SevenOffice immediately when I came back to England after the Christmas break.
But you've been studying in BI as well.
Sorry?
You in BI?
Yes, BI. Yes. So I studied BI, Bachelor of Business there. I also have the economics degree from University College in Oslo. I have a degree in programming and system development.
So you have IT and also you have business management.
Yes, so IT and business. And for me it's kind of what I really find fascinating and the vision of utilizing technology for a business purpose. And that's basically what 24SevenOffice is. And then before I started studying, I was curious about kind of the internet and technology. So I had Commodore 64 in my kind of.
We also use MS-DOS as well. You know, the programming Pascal, MS-DOS, but MS-DOS it was at the beginning. And
Commodore 64 was even given before,
yes,
that. Press play on tape.
Screen with
yeah. So that was kind of the first thing, and then when the internet came, I was curious about that. So bought HTML for Dummies, the book, and started developing websites and kind of mid-90s. So always been kind of fascinated about technology and how we can utilize that. And after I met Stian and started working with 24SevenOffice, it's been kind of 100% 24SevenOffice, and today we're 150 people.
When you start, how many people was 20 years ago? It was
7, 8 people.
So it was also the start
Yeah, Stian started in 97, and I met him kind of 2001. That was kind of during the Christmas break, and after that, yeah.
Do you still have office in United Kingdom?
No.
Why not?
That's a long story.
Because London is the financial, I would say, capital of Europe. Do you plan to have there?
24/7 Office is divided into three units, or two operational units. You have one here in the Nordics, which I kind of have the lead in, or the management position. So I'm leading the Nordic part, which is listed in Stockholm, and that's our market is the Nordic countries. So we're focusing on Norway, Sweden. That's where we have business today in Nordics, and we also have the kind of, if we're going to expand in Nordics, it's Denmark, Finland, and Iceland, in addition to Norway and Sweden.
So you plan to expand there?
Or we always had kind of international ambitions, and the system is developed to be able to adapt it to local rules, regulations, to have it been able. So it's the same source code doing accounting in Norway and Sweden. The language is different, the chart of account is different, the VAT is different, government reporting is different, but the engine, kind of the source code engine, it's the same, and it's flexible in order to adapt it. And that's kind of what we have in the platform, is that international goal of getting 24/7 Office out there. But the Nordic company, it's limited to the Nordic region. And then we have, on the same system, it's also adapted to the US. So we have a US company working on the United States.
But they have separate, or it is also called 24/7 Office accounting company? Or
yeah, it's 24/7 Office US. That's kind of the US part, but that's not part of the Nordic.
Oh, right, because Nordic, it's like one big umbrella, and it can cover that, I would say, 5 countries.
5 countries, yes. That's right.
Actually, then you already told what is 24/7 Office, but let's elaborate about it. And can you tell what is 24/7 Office? What is that company about? What's your main goals in that company?
Well, our vision is to empower businesses for the future. So we want to develop technology, best practice, to make every business efficient and automated, as efficient and automated as possible, and also empower the people working in a company to be efficient and get rid of manual labor and all that kind of things, and get access to real-time data, make real-time decisions, and spend time on what they love to do, which is kind of whatever the company is about. Not doing kind of operations and pushing paper and doing accounting that should be kind of automated. So we want to empower businesses for the future, and in that it's also a sense of always being in the forefront. We were the first cloud-based ERP system. We were the first to have kind of scanning of invoices in the same system. Now we have as the first ERP system also invested in a bank. So we're going into the banking industry with
Optin,
the ERP.
Yes, I want to talk about the Optin Bank as well.
Yeah, so, but it's important that it's in the vision. It's all about the future. We have a long-term vision. We have a long-term strategy. We've been in the game for more than 20 years, and we're going to stay in the game for more than 20 years. So it's always renewing the technology, renewing the company, renewing kind of how we sell and how we go to market, and it's all about kind of, and that's kind of brings me from the vision to our values is being curious and brave. It's kind of doing things for the first time. If someone tells me that's not possible,
to be innovative.
Be innovative, and also not take kind of what people are used to today as the what should I say, as the rule for what's possible. Because if you set the limit to what's possible today, you never reach the next level. So when someone tells me that it's impossible to do that, it's just more difficult. And if it was easy, then everybody could have done it. So it's more kind of taking it to the next level, being curious and brave, and think about kind of what's in the future. And at the same time, it's important for us that we have the trust with kind of our employees, colleagues should have the trust. We should have we need trust with kind of our customers, partners, investors, kind of all stakeholders need to have that. So that's kind of the three values you have: kind of trust, brave, and curious.
Trust, brave, and curious.
And that's what drives us going forward and empowering them for the future. And today we do that with having an online cloud-based ERP system, accounting, invoicing, CRM, project management, time tracking, collaboration, email, calendar, files and documents, basically everything you need to run your business.
Do you work with the corporates, or you also work with I would say B2C, also work with one client? Who are your major clients?
Yes, we have four main focus areas for our in our kind of where we go to customers. One is accounting firms, so the accounting companies providing accounting for their customers. That's one customer group we have. We also work together with those accounting firms to sell and let their customers use the technology, the 24/7 technology, to be more efficient and work more, collaborate better with their accountant. So the accounting firms and clients is also a customer group we work with. And then it's kind of SMBs, mid-sized and larger companies. So we're not kind of we're focusing on companies with an ambition. So if you have an ambition for growth, if you have an ambition for just having a good order in kind of your systems, and you want to have your accounting correctly, and you have good ambitions for your company, we're the system for you. And then we're also setting up now a more kind of enterprise, larger clients segment. But in general, we're focusing on the mid-sized businesses to larger. So in between kind of one-man companies and kind of the Fortune 500, everything in between, it's 24SevenOffice.
Can you tell about your journey with Optin Bank?
Yeah, I mean, financial technology, fintech, that's one of the biggest thing that will impact businesses going forward. The combination of finance and technology, and we really want to have our customers to have real-time updated banking, easier onboarding, more automated reconciliation. Everything should be automated, and that's possible to do now with our investment in Optin Bank.
Why do you decide to work? You told, how do you find your partner?
Well, that was, I mean, we've been working with the banking strategy for almost 10 years, I think. We really want that to happen. We were one of the first companies, or I think we were the first, integrating our accounting system directly with the bank. We did that 10, 12 years ago.
You worked with Optin Bank before?
No, that was Focus Bank before, which is now Danske Bank. So it's a long time ago, but we wanted to do that together with the big banks. But
how did you start to work together? Did you collaborate, or did you invest into the bank, or?
At that time, it was just kind of trying to get them understanding that accounting system and banking. That combination is kind of a good thing. But the big banks, I think they like to continue with what they've done and not looking at technology as the next step, but more how they can making sure that what they have today continues or stays. So it was impossible to continue innovating. So we figure out, well, if you're going to make something, we need to do it ourselves. Invested in Optin, and now we're kind of working on that integration and making it work.
Do you invest?
Yeah, we invested in Optin.
And do you invest as a company, or do you invest as a 24/7
Yeah, the
office?
24/7 office. So we have a.
So you have why I do ask this. So you have experience in investing and to choosing the companies what you are interested in.
Yeah. So kind of for us, banking has been a long-term strategy, and we've the last 5 years, a lot of smaller banks have been established. So we were scanning the market, looking at kind of the different players in the market, and we found Optin as the best fit with technology and people, strategy, and that's kind of the company we chose to both partner with and also invest in. So we have now we have 10% of the bank, and we have option to increase that to 20%. And also change the name to 24/7 Bank.
Oh, really? So it will be?
It will be 24/7 Bank.
Oh, it's very cool.
That's the idea.
Your competitors are Visma, one of the biggest. Do they have bank?
No.
So you'll be, I think, from step to step, you are becoming, taking the market.
Yeah. We are. So we're the first accounting company also going into the banking industry, and it's both a technology possibility, and you have the legislation with PSD2 and open banking, where the banks need to open up their APIs and allow third parties to integrate and allow the customers to choose who's going to do. Who's going to initiate a payment and get the account information, and that's for the banks. It's they can't charge more than they do for an internet bank, so it's a big change in that banking market with PSD2.
And you start to have type of a Basecamp called cloud.camp.
Cloud.camp, that's kind of a conference, a tech conference we have for the accounting firm channel. So we invite accounting firms and kind of their management and key stakeholders in those accounting firms to a technology seminar where we present and talk about the future of accounting, how that will be automated, how you can utilize technology to be more efficient and collaborate better with your clients, and making money on generate new revenue streams, because the more efficient the systems will be, the less time an accountant spends doing accounting. And their typical business model, that's they charge per hour, and if the number of hours you need to spend on producing an account going down, your revenue will go down, and you need to find other ways to make money.
So it's like win-to-win.
Like a win-win. So we inform them and tell them and inspire them to make new revenue streams with technology and use technology as a good way of or looking at the future in a positive way and not being scared of technology. So that's our cloud camp, and of course with COVID-19 we can't kind of have 700 people in Rockefeller in Oslo, Rock Club. So now we've moved the camp to the cloud. So now instead of cloud camp, it's camp cloud. So we moved the camp to the cloud and having online seminars instead.
How often do you have cloud camp?
Cloud camp is has traditionally been once a year. So it's actually, well, it's kind of October-ish.
For how many years do you have already this?
5 or 6 years.
And also growing up every year?
Yeah. So the first one we started kind of 100 people or something. And that's also kind of being curious and brave because it started by having, let's invite our partners to the office and talk with them. And then we had one guy, the marketing manager came up and said, well, let's make a concept out of it to get more people to come and let's make something that we can do again and again and again. So we came up with this cloud camp concept, invited the accountants, and the first year we got kind of 100 people. And the next, and that was kind of a smaller venue. And then the next year we said, well, how can we bring this to the next level? And we said, well, it would have been cool to fill Rockefeller in Oslo. And we booked Rockefeller for the year after. And you need to really work hard to get people to
fill it. You have motivation. Yeah.
We had the motivation, but we also set kind of we didn't go for kind of a bit larger venue. We kind of went for a much larger, and we've just made it more and more professional every year, and got more and more people to come. But now, I think 700 that's the maximum what you can get in there. So last year we were kind of, well, it's if everybody that have signed up are coming, we can't have everybody coming in.
Do you have price for it? It is so it's a free event.
Yeah.
So for all accountants, it's a cloud camp. It's free.
Yeah.
To come. Yes. Actually, it's very interesting, and we also can leave the link for that camp.
Yeah.
So it's every year, and if you're accountant or you're interested in accounting, so you can.
And we just had one. Now we've had 2 online events so far this year. So we had one before summer, and we had one a couple of weeks ago when we also talked about banking and how will bank, the way that we went into the banking industry, how will that affect the accountants, and how can they utilize that integration with ERP and bank.
Let's talk about digitalization, because it's actually the main focus of your company as well. What is digitalization for you? And is the Norwegian, I'll ask the second question so we can also answer for this. So how do you think, is Norwegian infrastructure is ready for implementing this type of accounting?
Well, for me, digitalization is taking things that you used to do manual, either with pen and paper or moving one piece of paper from one place to another, where kind of a physical person or a physical object was necessary, and do that electronically instead. And the more manual labor you can reduce, the more digital the process will be. So that's kind of, and the infrastructure is there. It's broadband, it's fiber all over. When 24SevenOffice started, the first servers we had, they were linked with a dial-up ISDN
with a telephone,
connection.
actually, yeah?
Telephone. And when you have double ISDN, that was kind of the best you could have. Now it's fiber, and so the broadband is the infrastructure is there, the technology is there, the servers and the hardware is in place, the browsers and the programming language, everything kind of is ready for digitalization. But the problem with digitalization is that it needs a new mindset of the people using it. So the biggest hurdle is actually to have people understanding the technology, understanding the possibilities, and start using it. And we've seen clients kind of that think they are going digital by replacing an old on-premise installed software solution with 24SevenOffice as a cloud-based system, and they want to work exactly the same way as they used to do. And when they worked exactly the same way as they used to do, they can't do it because the systems aren't made for it. They're made for new processes and new ways of working because that's more efficient. And then they're not happy with that situation, so we need to work with them to change the mindset and start working digital and not just having a digital system. And that's two different ways of looking at it. And I think also that we've seen that during kind of the COVID, when you had lockdown, not being able to travel, working from home, the technology was there. I mean, we've been using video conferencing for a lot of years. We have offices in several locations. We use online video meetings instead of traveling. Saves time and environment. We of course we work with our own system, so we have everything digital, and that helps. So the situation we've been in is something that will kind of move the digitalization process some years ahead, because of people understood that the technology is there and it's just using it.
And it starts with a mindset.
It starts with a mindset, it does.
And it starts when you open your computer.
Yeah.
Just let's have a look at.
Yeah.
This
is kind of this is 24SevenOffice in one picture. So as you have our values: trust, brave, curious. The vision: empowering businesses for the future. The 24SevenOffice way, we grow together like a big happy family.
This is the map when you open computer. This is the wallpaper.
This is the wallpaper, the background picture on all computers. So you're reminded that this is the product, accounting, financial management as the core, is a project, hours, CRM, collaboration, automation is important for us, and build our ecosystem.
Rule of 40.
Rule of 40, grow as much as possible with profitability. We're working with the positioning of automation, green, and culture. We are working to get active promoters of our product. And as you see, this robot, it's a robot but with two people inside.
With
so it's the future. We're going to the future. It's robotic automation, science fiction, but still
it's like in chain, you know, in the bicycle chain, yeah?
Yeah.
What is
or
the
DNA?
DNA. All right. This is the meaning of DNA, yes?
Yeah. So everything fits together and integrated, evolving all the time. And you have kind of a science fiction robot, but with people
inside.
Inside.
So it's people is important. So it's not only artificial intelligence, but
it's not only artificial, but it's artificial intelligence empowering the people, and not kind of the robots taking over the world.
So you have vision for 5 years.
Yeah.
And is it changing every year, or?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of where we.
You set goals every year.
Yeah, or we said we have kind of the long-term vision and strategy we're going, and then it's more tactics that change. But the power is, this is kind of our this is what we deliver, the products, growing with profitability, our values, positioning. This is what we're working on, and this is kind of the guiding star where empowering businesses and making the world a better place.
Yeah, very nice.
And when you look at that every day, it's kind of, it gives you that reminder what kind of journey you're on.
Also, the question: you're working both with Windows and Mac systems, yeah? You are integrated fully, or do you prefer to work with?
Well, all the new stuff we develop, it's that's kind of work on all platforms. But of course, we were one of the first. So when we started in 1997 and in early 2000, that was kind of the number of browsers at that point was kind of limited. But now it's all the new stuff we create is regardless of platform.
So in brief, you said that Norwegian infrastructure is ready.
Yes.
For this, and I also think that our kids that already not using the papers, because when we start using the accounting, we always need to have, even I remember that even in different countries you have electronic bill, but you need to keep the paper just for the if something happens, you need to keep it. And we have that custom. So when we have paper, it's evidence, so we need to have it. But right now I think the kids, it's already 3 or 4 times backup in the computer. So and they don't have that habit to have this paper. Even if you go to L shop or somewhere, they now they automatically send you the bill to your email.
Yeah.
So actually this so the answer is it's ready and you are implementing this.
Yes, it's ready, we're implementing it, but I don't think everybody is ready for it. And that's a different thing, because people are stuck in the past. They think they know how to work, and they are used to having one way of working. And by just replacing the technology, that doesn't mean that you're digital. Even though you have online meeting systems, whether it's Google Meet or Microsoft Teams or Zoom, whatever system you've had, if you don't use it, you have a digital system, but you're not digital because you still drive the car, you take the airplane, and you do all kind of the old way, even though you had the technology. But now you're forced to use the technology, and you see, well, it works. You don't need to physically meet everybody all the time. You can save time and have the same conversation. And in some ways, you actually get to know people more, because they're at the home office, you're at the home office, you have the kids working at home school, and that's kind of, you get more private, even though it's a business setting.
Many companies during the COVID get decrease in the revenue. And what about 24SevenOffice?
Well, we've been continuing growing, so we've had around, I think we grew kind of 31% in the second quarter.
31%.
Yes,
it's quite a lot.
So we have during the COVID we continued to grow, and we went from investing a lot. So we had kind of so we went from losing money to making money, and continue growing during the COVID.
How do you motivate your employees?
I think the best way of motivating is involving them and understanding kind of where we're going. So we work a lot on understanding our vision, our kind of where we're going, the product, and the ambition being part of a journey. So we have it kind of the 24SevenOffice way, growing together as colleagues, as employees, partners, customers, investors, stakeholders, we're all kind of in the same boat and going in this journey together. And if you manage to get people buy into that and take part of that journey, I think you get the motivation you need in order to kind of continue going up every day, go to work, and also not just for selling 24/7 Office to the customers, but also being part of the bigger picture, what we can provide to society, digital systems, kind of just by replacing server-based systems with what we have. You'll improve the environment by reducing the amount of servers, the amount of energy. We've invested in solar power in our hosting facilities to get more to get green electricity. So it's kind of that bigger picture as well, not just 24/7 Office and selling.
To make the world better.
To make the world better, empowering them for the future. Because if you take that vision, kind of the next level, if we manage to empower employees working in a company, that company will be better and more efficient, continue growing, making more money. The more money they will make, the more taxes they'll pay, the more they will reduce the carbon footprint and better the environment. And that's kind of the bigger picture of what we're doing in 24/7 Office, and combining those two and getting talking about that and getting the employees part of that journey. I think you get kind of the motivation you need in order to get out of bed every morning and go to work and do your small part every day to make the world better.
Yeah, and on previous interview we talked with Stian, and you have also project with Hitta, with the house in the mountains, or type of office that is 100% sustainable, and that you can go from it with the solar systems and everything.
In Notodden, that's where we had the solar powered hosting facilities, and we also allow people to kind of work from home when they want and want and needed. So when when COVID came, we were used to home office, working wherever you are when you want and all that kind of things. And that's also if you can work from home during the morning, you don't need to be in the rush hours and stuck in the traffic. You can go to work later and combine that with online meetings. And I think that's the whole process of allowing employees to do what kind of fits them best.
During COVID, you start to search for new employees.
Yeah. So we not during, but
because I saw the advertisement, you also been front developers or someone who will be developers or programmers.
Yeah. So now we I think we hired some 100 people or so, something.
100 people.
The last couple of years.
Okay. I thought that during COVID.
No, not during COVID, but the last couple of years. So we've and now we're looking for developers in the customer success team.
Do you mostly find developers here in Norway, or you use in other countries as outsourcing?
We combine it. So we have most of the developers are here in Norway, but we combine that also with a development team in Ukraine. So we're combining both kind of Norway and abroad.
Now I have 5 questions. I would say Blitz questions.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you need to answer fast, but you can answer as you think. So I can have a look at the question number 1. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Who would like to have as a dinner guest?
You can have you can have
yeah?
several. You can have
But I don't have that much time with kind of all the stuff that happens. So one part of me saying that I'd like to have kind of that dinner with my wife because it's not that time, but it's that much time for that. But other than that, it's I'm very fascinated with the combination of sport and business. So for me, it's kind of the Norwegian or Aksel Svindal and Kjetil Jansu, one of the alpine skiers, of the one that just won. Lucas Bråten just won, 20 years old. Mm-hmm. He set a mindset or a goal when he was 10 years old, how to be the best in alpine skiing in 10 years. Mm-hmm. And he won his first World Cup last year. So that long-term goal setting, combining with that so I think that's kind of I really like that combination, and yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Question number 2. What would constitute a perfect day for you?
Perfect day is waking up. That's you need that to wake up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And meet the family, the kids. Kind of breakfast together with them. Go to the office. Meet the people when you come here, the employees. The atmosphere here, so having a good day of work, then some training together with the kids, following them, and then that with kind of a dinner and a nice time with the family.
Got it. 3. For what in your life you feel most grateful?
Most grateful is family.
What is the greatest accomplishment in your life?
I think it's continuing to grow and develop 24SevenOffice into a long-term sustainable company. And the second is kind of raising 2 beautiful kids so far and continuing on that journey as well.
And the last question.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important because you have a big company. You're the CEO of the company, always talk with the people. What is friendship for you?
Oh. Friendship is, I think it starts with one of our values, of trust. So you need to have trust with kind of your friends. You need to be curious. And wanting to know what's going on in their life, understanding why they are kind of who they are and how they're feeling and so on. So it's So I think it's openness, trust, curiosity, and being there no matter what.
Thank you very much, Stine, for. Wait.
You know the first one?
Yes, we have that Stine thought of. Okay. Okay. So because I was asking, and then Staale and Stine. You see this? You're always together, and even on the pictures, even when you see all the pictures, I see you together, and that's actually good. It means that you're working very good as a partners. Staale, Thank you very much for your interview. Hopefully to see maybe next time on the roof when it will be more nice weather.
When
today.
you have sunny.
Today it was first snow. It's already it's autumn, but the winter is coming.
Yeah, it is.
And thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you here.
Yeah.